Well, hiya and welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for joining with us again.
We always love doing this, and Mom, how is your day going thus far?
Brandon, my day is going fine. How is your day gone?
All is well here. It's always another great week, and I'm excited for us to get into this.
Yes, we are talking once more about Wonder Man.
Yes, and so now we're on which episode, Mom?
We are on episode 4 and is entitled Doorman.
Yes. Unlike Wonder Man, that's a mini-series, we continue making our TV discussions. Mom, can you go ahead and head into our description?
Sure will, Brandon. Alrighty. So in this particular episode, kind of like I've mentioned before about our Marvel series, they kind of have a little bit of a formula, and so we are now in the episode that's giving the historical context of the particular episode, and so it starts off in black and white with characters who we don't have a clue who they are. But anyway, so it starts off in black and white, but it's actually taking place in a modern time period, or I should say contemporary time period. So it takes place roughly in about 2012. And so there's a gentleman whose name is Damar Dorman, and he is a bodyguard. And so he is at a club, and he kind of lets, of course, as a bodyguard, lets people in and out. So at the end of the day, he takes out the trash, and while he's out, taking out the trash, one of the trash cans, this is the large trash can I'm referring to, it kind of oozes out, some sort of something oozes out of the trash can itself. He touches it. He's a little freaked out, and then he goes, I guess, into another world. I'm not sure what happens there, but anyway, we know he's affected by this ooze that's in the trash can. He goes then the next day or days later, he is at the club, and there is a fire that happens at the club. He just happens to be outside of the door along with someone else, and as he realizes that he needs to open the door for all the people to leave, but he's not able to do so. But then he somehow is able to kind of walk through the door. It's the best way I can explain it, and then the people there actually are able to walk through him in order to get out of the building. And so one of the people who he helped was a gentleman named Josh Gatz. And so Josh Gatz is an actor, I believe. Is that correct, Brandon?
Repeat what you said?
Josh Gatz is an actor.
Josh Gad. Yes.
Gad, I'm sorry. Josh Gad is an actor.
Yes.
And so anyway, so he's in this movie coming up, and so he uses Dorman, and once more the reason being because he can let people in and out, and along with people going through his body, items can go through his body also. And then he says ding dong once they go through, or something like that. Regardless, that is his gimmick, is that people can go in and out of his body, and this is his superhuman power that this gentleman has. Well, let's fast forward a little bit, and then I'm sorry this is so long, but the backstory is really important for this one. But fast forward a little bit, and we do realize later that he loses the power, and actually Mr. Josh can't get through. Well, he does go through Dorman, however, he doesn't come out of Dorman. So don't know where Josh is. So at that point in time, his reputation kind of is ruined, and this helps to. And then soon after that, there is an act or law that goes into effect that says all actors can't have superhuman powers. That's a lot of talk to say. Give the backstory of this particular episode. I should have said spoiler alert. All right, Brandon.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
And overall, what were your thoughts about this episode titled Dorman?
Well, I thought it was extremely important because it made a lot of sense. At first, when I started watching it, I didn't know quite what was going on. And yes, I did fall asleep the first time, but the second time I was able to watch it all the way through. But you guys know me, I fall asleep at times. But anyway, when I, but anyway, so when they mentioned the end of it, in regards to the clause, the dormant clause, it made a lot of sense because we do go into current time with the current with Simon at the end as he goes to sign the dormant clause, meaning to sign the paper indicating that he does not have superpowers. So that is important for this particular movie that Simon is auditioning for.
Yeah, and I thought it's interesting. I mean, how this all sort of comes into play because I mean, we've heard the Demar, Dorman Davis clause mentioned, but yeah, obviously we didn't have any idea about that name is, and from the previous episodes, it definitely sounds like Trevor has no idea who in the world he is.
No, it doesn't sound like he does either.
And by the way that this episode's framed, it definitely seems that Simon is aware of him enough to say that he is sort of stuck because of this clause, but this whole episode is a video he's watching.
Yeah, and it's yeah, and he chooses to sign. And in which case, like I said, indicating that he does not have any superpowers at all.
So it's quite interesting. What were your thoughts about the majority of this episode being in black and white?
You know, I thought it was important because it helped the audience to know that there was a difference. Like there's something different going on in this episode, and you're just not imagining that you really don't know who these people are who are on the screen.
Yeah. And I thought what was fascinating about that is because it also makes it seem like this is such a long time ago in a different time and place. And I mean, I think when we watch a show in black and white, we've seen quite a few of them on our channel that we think, oh wow, that was such a long time ago. And so I feel that sort of energy, even though all of this is after. And what year did we establish that this episode
Right,
started?
right around 2012.
Yeah, so that wasn't really that long ago per se.
Yes, it wasn't that long ago, and like you, I was when I started watching it, I had to kind of figure out for my own sake the time period. But when I saw him checking social media, I was like, well, this is pretty current then.
Yeah, I mean, the only really frame of reference, so to speak, is obviously the movie Frozen had already been out, and that they said the Imagine Dragons song Radioactive has been out for 3 years.
Yes, yes, they did do that, and I'm thankful they did that to help with the timestamp.
So, yeah, so that was definitely very helpful in that regard. And, Mom, what were your thoughts about the real life actor Josh Gad coming in here and being a fictionalized version of himself and sort of this role?
I thought it was fine, Brandon. I thought it was fine. I like to rate the episodes 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. I give this one a 3 because I think it's pretty strong when you kind of think about the TV series in itself.
Yeah, and Mom, I'll agree with that. And I kind of like how they almost position this in a sense, almost as its own sort of short story within the story. In fact, even at the beginning, it said, Marvel Studios presents Doorman.
Yeah, it sure did.
And so it seems as if like this episode, or at least the bulk of this episode that we see in black and white, is in of itself a story within the story. And so I'm curious as to if, in traditional Marvel fashion, if they're going to revisit this and let's say maybe episode 7 or 8, maybe we'll see Josh Gad again.
Yeah, maybe he'll appear. We'll see.
And they did mention that Doorman is under constant surveillance and supervision by the Department of Damage Control. And so the question is, do you think we'll see him again? And are the same people that were going after him the ones going after Simon?
It very well could. It very well could be Brandon. We'll have to see. I have a feeling we will see at least Dorman again. That would be my guess, and possibly Josh. But I think we'll see at least Dorman again.
I agree. And what I thought was a little interesting is the whole thing that I don't know. I think what was just kind of fascinating is there were numerous parts in this episode that I was wondering, oh, is this the reason why? Like, I mean, we saw like the fire, and we saw what I believe like probably like all of his alcoholic beverages and him going through social media. And so it was interesting, different parts of the episode, thinking, oh, is this the thing that they make a clause go after him? And so it's not until the end, it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting that you said something about the fire. I didn't think about that. Is this his father? No, it can't be his father. The timing doesn't work out. No, because he would be too young.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it was his father, but nor do I necessarily think he has any per se, at least blood relation with him. But I'm curious if there's any other sort of connection that Simon may or may not have with him, or if it's truly just a one actor to the next.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Indeed, and Mom, we do have a connection.
Oh, what's our connection, Brandon?
The connection is with a guest that shows up within the episode,
Oh, who's that?
Mario Lopez.
Oh, that's right. Saved by the Bell.
Yes,
Yeah. Yep. So very familiar. I am very familiar with Mario Lopez.
but yes, and I believe we already knew that he was going to be in the show at some point or another.
Yes. I think, well, you did. I don't think I did.
But yeah, so it's definitely fun to see that, and his sort of role I kind of like is very similar to his real life role, speaking about entertainment news, and so I like that they're sort of able to parody a little bit of that.
Yep. Actually, I did too, Brandon. I did too. All right. You guys let us know. Are you guys watching Wonder Man? What are your thoughts?
Yes, and if you are you watching it weekly or did you binge it all at once? Let us know.
Yes. Well, we thank everybody for watching today.
And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Have a great day, everybody.